You know that feeling when you glance at your backlog and think, yep, I've got enough games to last me the next 3 years? And then, bam, a new month drops 20 more must-plays right in your lap? Yeah, welcome to June 2025, my friend. This month is absolutely packed. We're talking cinematic adventures, neon-drenched sci-fi, surprise remasters, bizarre survival MMOs, even some games that'll have you questioning reality. And trust me, there are a few in here you probably didn't see coming. Now, quick question. Are you the type of gamer who plans their wishlist down to the release date? Or do you accidentally stumble into new releases at 3 a.m. while scrolling the store? Be honest. No judgment here. Either way, stick around, because I'm about to run you through 20 brand new games you simply cannot miss this June, whether you're on PS5, PC, Xbox, Switch, or hey, still rocking that trusty PS4. Let's dive in. And fair warning, your wallet may not survive this list. The System Shock 2. One of those games that basically invented the modern immersive sim. And now, after 25 years, we're getting a full remaster with 4K visuals, high frame rates, and official mod support across the board. If you've never played it, this is BioShock's spiritual predecessor. You're trapped on a derelict starship hunted by Shodan, an insane AI with a god complex. The atmosphere is still unmatched, eerie, claustrophobic, and soaked in dread. Now with this remaster, they're really polishing it up. Modern lighting, upgraded textures, smoother controls, and best of all, like a new suite of tools for modders. That means this version will be a living game for years to come, with fan-created content keeping it fresh. And if you're on console, this is huge. System Shock 2 was never officially released on PlayStation or Xbox, until now. Finally, console players get to experience one of the most influential sci-fi horror games ever made. So whether you're a first-timer or a longtime fan, Shodan is waiting, and trust me, she remembers you. Okay, The Alters is one of those games that instantly makes you go, wait, what? In the best possible way. You're stuck on a remote, hostile planet with no way out. Supplies are limited, time is ticking, and the only solution? Cloning yourself. But not just any clone. You're creating alternate versions of you, each shaped by different life choices. Basically, what if I had become an engineer, or a doctor, or someone with far less anxiety? It's a narrative survival game where the focus isn't combat, but managing this growing group of, well, yous. Each alter brings unique skills to the table, but they also come with their own memories, personalities, and yes, personal baggage. And let's be real, working with one version of yourself is already hard enough yet. Now try managing 5. What I love is how the game balances tension and introspection. You're racing to fix your failing base and stay alive, but you're also confronting versions of yourself you might not like. It's eerie, emotional, and layered in a way survival games rarely are. And visually, stunning. The desolate planet feels properly alien. The UI is slick, and the character interactions are way more nuanced than I expected. If you're into thought-provoking sci-fi with a psychological twist, The Alters is absolutely worth keeping on your radar. If you've got a thing for neon lights and synth beats, buckle up. TRON Catalyst is coming June 17th, and it looks like it's going to be the TRON game we've been waiting for. You're jacked straight into the grid, a pulsing, neon-drenched world where combat and puzzles are your bread and butter. It's part fast-paced action, part brain teaser, all set to an absolutely killer soundtrack. Think wall running, disc throwing, light cycle dodging madness. But it's not just style. There's depth here, with a story that dives into the inner politics of the grid and the rise of a mysterious new threat. And visually, gorgeous. The kind of game where you'll be taking constant screenshots just to admire those glowing environments. Catalyst also leans heavily into exploration, hidden paths, intricate puzzles, and combat arenas that test both your reflexes and your brain. For TRON fans or anyone craving something unique this summer, this one's going to light up your backlog, literally. Zenless Zone Zero is finally hitting Xbox Series X Era S this June. And trust me, this one's a wild ride. If you've played Genshin Impact or Honkai Star Rail, you already know HoYoverse doesn't mess around when it comes to stylish action and deep RPG mechanic. But it's got its own flavor. You're dropped into this slick urban future called New Eridu. Think Cyberpunk City meets supernatural mayhem. The city is surrounded by these dimensional disasters called hollows, and naturally that's where you'll be fighting all sorts of bizarre creatures. The combat? Oh man, it's buttery smooth, fast-paced, combo-heavy, and super satisfying when you start stringing those attacks together. You can swap between characters mid-fight, building crazy team synergies, and this launch is coming with the brand new 2.0 update. More content, new characters, even more chaotic fun. If you're the type who loves character collecting with a side of deep lore, or you just want to kick back and master some stylish action, this is one to watch. Grab your controller. New Eridu is waiting. Strategy lovers, this one's going to pull you right into the battlefield. Broken Arrow is a large-scale military RTS that's honestly shaping up to be one of the most exciting strategy games of the year. You're not just pumping out generic tanks and troops here. Nope, every single unit is highly customizable. I'm talking about configuring armor, selecting weapon loadouts, adjusting mobility. You're basically designing your own modern military force. You want a stealth-focused recon vehicle with drone support? Done. A juggernaut tank with reactive armor? Go wild. And when battles kick off, oof, they're pure adrenaline. It's real-time tactical chaos across massive map. You've got to think fast, coordinate airstrikes, reposition infantry, exploit enemy weak points, and trust me, the enemy AI knows how to hit back hard. And can we talk about how slick it looked? The modern military aesthetic is super polished. Choppers flying low, tanks kicking up dust, missiles streaking through the sky. It's a war nerd's dream. So if you've been craving a strategy game where brains matter as much as brute force, Broken Arrow might just be the one that eats up your entire summer. Ready to command? You know, sometimes it's nice when a game lets you wait until everything is in one big, shiny box. No more checking which DLC you're missing or what patch fixed what bug. That's exactly what Cyberpunk 2077 Ultimate Edition is doing. This is the definitive version of the game, and it's wild to think how far it's come. Remember those glitch montages back in 2020? Yeah, now we've got buttery smooth frame rates, revamped systems, and the entire Phantom Liberty expansion included, plus all those juicy updates they kept dropping. Now, stepping into Night City in 2025 feels like entering a living, breathing dystopia. Every street corner is packed with detail, every side quest oozes personality, and driving through the neon-soaked highways at night, chef's kiss. If you've been holding off for the perfect time to jump in, or maybe you just want an excuse to return and check out all the new toys, this Ultimate Edition is your ticket. V's story never looked or played this good. Hideo Kojima is back, folks, and you know things are about to get weird. Death Stranding 2, On the Beach, drops us once again into a post-apocalyptic America, but this time, the stakes are even higher, and the beach is calling. Now, if you played the first game, you remember those long, lonely treks, balancing cargo and pondering life's big questions. That's still here, but amplified. This sequel adds more varied environments, deeper traversal mechanics, and brace yourself, a mysterious new threat emerging from the other side. Sam Porter Bridges returns, older and wiser, with a new cast of allies and enemies. And Kojima being Kojima, expect surreal cutscenes, cryptic dialogue, and moments that'll leave you scratching your head, in a good way. Gameplay-wise, you've got expanded crafting, upgraded vehicles, and even more intricate structures to build. Oh, and co-op elements. Yup, now players can directly connect and explore parts of the world together. If you love the unique blend of delivery sim meets philosophical sci-fi, Death Stranding 2, On the Beach is shaping up to be even more haunting, heartfelt, and just Kojima-esque. Pack your cargo. We're heading out June 26th. Toby Fox, you absolute mad genius. Just when you think you figured out where Deltarune is going, bam! It takes a hard left and throws you into something completely unexpected. And now we're finally getting 2 new chapters at once. Chapters 3 and 4 are dropping together, and the community is buzzing. Heck, if you're on Reddit or Discord, you know fans have been analyzing teasers frame by frame. So what's in store? More of that signature blend of quirky humor, heartfelt storytelling, and absolutely banging music, of course. The combat, evolving, the world, expanding in ways we didn't see coming. And the characters, somehow even more charming and occasionally unsettling. The cool thing about Deltarune is how it plays with your expectations of an RPG. One moment you're laughing at a goofy dialogue, the next you're pondering a surprisingly deep moral choice. If you've loved the first 2 chapters, buckle up. This ride's about to get a whole lot wilder. Spice up your summer, literally, because Dune Awakening drops on June 10th, and this one's going to be massive. Picture this, an open-world survival MMO, but instead of your typical forest or post-apocalyptic wasteland, you're surviving on Arrakis. Endless sand, ruthless factions, giant freaking sandworms. It's not just about swinging a sword or gunning people down. You have to manage water, build your shelter, upgrade your gear, and align yourself with the right faction. Politics and survival go hand in hand here. Will you play it safe with House Atreides, or go rogue with the Fremen and carve your own destiny? And the scale of this thing, mind-blowing. You'll be exploring vast deserts, harvesting spice, avoiding sandworms, or sometimes hunting them if you dare, and battling other players and AI factions for control of resources. It's a survival sandbox, but with the rich lore of Dune baked into every corner. If you've ever dreamed of walking the sands of Arrakis, this is your chance. Just remember, the spice must flow. Get your flasks ready. Elden Ring. Nightreign is almost here, and it's not what you might expect. This isn't just an expansion, and it's a full-blown co-op roguelike spin-off. Yep, From Software is mixing things up again. Instead of roaming an open world, you're dropped into shrinking battlefields with your friends, or random allies. The goal? Survive waves of twisted new enemies, grab loot, and adapt on the fly. Oh, and here's the twist. You pick from pre-built classes each run, meaning no overpowered builds from your main character. Everyone starts fresh. Every run feels different thanks to procedurally generated arenas and dynamic enemy spawns. The tension is real. The battlefield physically shrinks as time goes on, forcing players into intense, close-quarter showdowns. And in true FromSoft fashion, the bosses are brutal. But here's the thing. Nightreign is also way more accessible if you've been intimidated by the main game. Shorter sessions, co-op focus, and roguelike structure mean you can hop in, have a blast, and slowly master the system. For fans of Elden Ring and anyone itching for a new kind of Soulsborne experience, Nightreign is a must-try when it drops May 30th. See you in the fog! Fast Fusion, because sometimes you just want to go fast. This is pure, high-octane, futuristic racing. Think Wipeout meets Trackmania on steroids. The cars? Hovercrafts naturally. The tracks? Twisting, turning, loop-the-loop roller coasters that defy gravity and logic. 1 minute, you're racing across a glass highway suspended above a cyberpunk megacity. The next, you're plummeting down an anti-gravity tunnel with 10 other racers right on your tail. What really sells Fast Fusion is its dynamic track system, meaning that each lap can change. Sections can shift mid-race, barriers appear out of nowhere, gravity might flip. It keeps you constantly on edge. You can't just memorize the track and coast. You've got to stay sharp. Adapt on the fly. And the sense of speed here is wild. 60 FPS, ultra-smooth visuals, motion blur done just right. You can almost feel your stomach drop during those insane vertical drops. There's also a time trial mode that's perfect for leaderboard junkies and online multiplayer with full crossplay, so prepare to get smoked by someone on a totally different platform. Bottom line, if you've got a need for speed, Fast Fusion is shaping up to be one of the slickest racers of the year. Remedy fans, it's finally happening. FBC, Firebreak is bringing us back to the weird, shifting halls of the oldest house. But this time, you're not alone. This is Remedy's very first crack at a multiplayer shooter, and yep, it's set in the Control universe. Instead of just one Jesse Faden floating around with telekinesis, now you and a squad of agents are diving deep into PvE missions, battling Hiss-corrupted horrors, reality-bending phenomena, and whatever else this cursed building decides to throw at you. What really grabs me here is how Remedy's signature vibe, that eerie, off-kilter atmosphere, is baked right into the co-op design. You're not just clearing out rooms with guns. You're working together to survive shifting architecture, unpredictable anomalies, and missions that can change dynamically as the oldest house warps itself mid-match. It's also got this slick ability system. Think levitating, shield bursts, and reality warping powers layered with more traditional firearms. And the lore? Remedy is going deep again, so even hardcore Control fans will find new story threads here. So, squad up, agents. We're going back into the house, and this time, it's personal. There's something deeply satisfying about perfectly planning the accidental demise of a target in Hitman. And now, with the World of Assassination bundle, it's all streamlined. You're basically getting the entire modern trilogy, plus fresh missions, new tools, and QOL upgrades, all in one package. What's cool is how this version really embraces the sandbox spirit. You can take Agent 47 from the bustling streets of Sapienza to the skyscrapers of Dubai to a hidden vineyard in Mendoza, all without leaving the hub. And with new enhancements, returning to these locations feels like rediscovering them. For stealth fans, this is a goldmine. The layers of strategy, the clever disguises, the freedom to experiment. It never gets old. And let's not forget the community contracts. Nothing beats trying out those wild, player-created challenges. If you're new, this is the perfect starting point. If you're a seasoned agent, well, time to suit up again. Target's waiting. All right, grab a friend. And maybe a nightlight, because Little Nightmares 3 is sneaking onto our screens this June. And this time, it's co-op. That's right, for the first time in the series, you're not wandering this nightmare alone, which honestly makes the whole thing just a little bit more terrifying. You and a buddy take on the roles of two new characters, Low and Alone, each trapped in a surreal, oversized world that feels like a child's worst fever dream. The environments are absolutely dripping with atmosphere, creaking floorboards, lurking shadows, and those giant, misshapen enemies that always seem to know where you are. But this isn't just about running and hiding. The game's packed with clever environmental puzzles that require cooperation. You'll be lifting each other up, triggering switches, and occasionally having a heated debate about whether it's safe to crawl through that suspicious vent. Spoiler, it's not. And here's what really hooks me. This isn't some lazy cash-in on co-op horror. The devs have crafted a story that leans into the two-player dynamic. There's tension, yes, but also these small emotional moments where you're protecting each other or sacrificing yourself to let the other escape. It's dark, it's creepy, and oddly beautiful. So if you've got a brave friend or one you want to accidentally terrify, mark your calendars. Little Nightmares 3 is ready to haunt your summer. a near-future city where skyscrapers gleam, drones zip through neon airways, and everyone's life is plugged in. Welcome to Red Rock City, the setting of MindsEye, an ambitious new cinematic action adventure from Build a Rocket Boy. And here's a fun fact. This studio is led by none other than Leslie Benzies, former producer of Grand Theft Auto. Yep, that GTA. Now, MindsEye isn't just about jaw-dropping visuals and futuristic gadgets. It's a narrative-driven game packed with twists, conspiracies, and characters that feel ripped right out of a big-budget sci-fi movie. You're thrown into a world where corporations control everything, and your job? To fight back using a blend of stealth, gunplay, hacking, and some seriously cool tech toys. Gameplay-wise, think GTA meets Deus Ex, but more focused on tight storytelling and cinematic flair. The missions are handcrafted, the world is dense and reactive, and yes, car chases through glowing city streets are absolutely a thing. And did I mention the soundtrack? Full-on synthwave goodness that'll make you want to cruise the streets at 3 a.m. So, if you're craving an immersive cyber noir experience, MindsEye should definitely be on your radar this June. Okay, now this one's for my cult classic lovers. Raidu Remastered, The Mystery of the Soulless Army. What a comeback! If you missed it back in the PS2 era, here's your second chance to play a hidden gem that blends detective noir with supernatural action RPG goodness. You're Raidu Kuzunoha, a devil summoner and detective in a 1930s alt history Tokyo. The vibe? Stylish as hell. You're wearing a sharp uniform, carrying a sword, and, oh yeah, summoning demons to help you solve cases and fight bizarre mechanical enemies. And this remaster, it's not some lazy upscale. We're talking updated graphics, smoother combat, improved UI, and a ton of quality of life tweaks. Everything feels modern without losing that original charm. Combat is real-time, with Raidu slashing enemies while commanding his demons. And let me tell you, the demon recruitment system is weirdly addictive. You'll be negotiating with spirits, fusing new allies, and figuring out how to counter crazy supernatural bosses. The story, full of mystery, conspiracies, and characters that really stick with you. It's like if Shin Megami Tensei met Persona met film noir. Honestly, if you love stylish RPGs with deep systems and a world dripping with personality, do not sleep on Raidu Remastered. This is one of those I can't believe I missed this games. Now's your chance. A 5x5 soccer game, but throw out the fouls, throw out the refs, and crank the action up to 11. That's Rematch, a new title from Slowclap, the devs behind Sifu. And if you played Sifu, you know these folks understand fluid, stylish movement. This isn't your typical football sim. It's got this street soccer meets fighting game energy. You're dashing, wall running, doing insane skill shots, all in a super fast pick-up-and-play format. No penalties, no offsides, just pure arcade chaos with physics-driven collisions. And the vibe? It's electric. Neon-lit arenas, slick character customization, and a super responsive control scheme that lets you chain moves like you're pulling off combos in a brawler. For me, Rematch is looking like Rocket League meets Sifu, easy to learn, hard to master, and absolutely built for highlight reel moments with friends online. So get ready to kick, flip, and fight for that next goal. No refs, no rules, just vibes. You're not just racing on some dusty old track, you're hurtling through deep space, dodging asteroid belts, and weaving through neon-lit wormholes in Star Overdrive. This is the kind of game that throws gravity out the window. Literally. Because here, you're piloting customizable starships across interstellar circuits. And when I say customizable, I mean everything. From sleek hull designs to thruster upgrades and shield mods. You want to make a ship that looks like it belongs to a space pirate? Go for it. Prefer a polished, high-tech racer? That's on the table too. The real kicker, though, is the track design. Some races will have you barrel rolling around giant space stations, while others send you through collapsing starfields or black hole slipstreams where the laws of physics are questionable at best. And it's not just about pure speed. There's strategy here too. Boost too hard and you'll overheat. Cut corners too tight and risk losing your shields. Oh, and did I mention online multiplayer? Yeah, this is going to be chaotic fun when you're trading laser blast with your friends mid-race. If you love games like Wipeout or F-Zero, keep an eye on Star Overdrive. Looks like it's aiming to bring that adrenaline rush back, just with a whole lot more stars involved. Let's switch gears for a second. From racing spaceships to building empires, enter Rise of Industry 2. This is one of those games where you sit down thinking, I'll just play for half an hour. And then, bam, 6 hours have vanished, and suddenly you've built a sprawling industrial powerhouse across multiple cities. You start small, a few farms, maybe a lumber mill, but soon you're managing supply chains that span continents, processing raw materials, manufacturing complex goods, negotiating with city councils, and fighting off corporate rivals. And trust me, nothing feels better than watching your perfectly optimized production line crank out products like a well-oiled machine. What's cool is that Rise of Industry 2 has stepped things up from the first game. Better UI, more advanced logistics, modular buildings, and dynamic city economies that actually respond to how you play. Flood the market with cheap cars? Great, until demand collapses and your competitors swoop in with luxury models. For fans of Factorio, Transport Fever, or Cities, Skylines, this one's gonna scratch that deep strategy edge. Just maybe clear your schedule first. Here's one that totally caught my eye, Chronicles of the Wolf. At first glance, it might look like your classic dark fantasy action RPG, but spend a few minutes with it and you'll realize this thing has teeth. You play as a cursed warrior caught in a brutal world where every choice matters. And I mean that. The branching narrative here isn't just some cosmetic dialogue fluff. Whole story arcs shift based on who you help, who you betray, and even how you fight. Your allies, they can turn into enemies. Side characters, their fates hang on your decisions. Now combat. This is where it really shines. Deep mechanics with a focus on precision. You've got stamina management, parries, weapon stances, and magic that can absolutely change how you approach each fight. It's very much in that Souls-inspired school of thought, but with its own flavor. Faster pacing, more build flexibility, and some seriously grotesque enemy design. And can I just say, the world building? Beautiful and bleak in the best way. Cursed forests, crumbling castles, cities drowning in superstition and blood. It's got atmosphere for days. So yeah, if you're itching for an action RPG where your sword and your choices both matter, Chronicles of the Wolf is definitely one to watch. And that's the lineup for June 2025. Whew, I don't know about you, but my wish list just tripled. And my free time? Yeah, that pretty much vanished. Now, real talk, which one of these games grabbed your attention the most? Is it the big cinematic epics like MindsEye, the eerie vibes of Little Nightmares 3? Or maybe you're secretly eyeing that neon-soaked TRON Catalyst? Drop your picks down in the comments. I genuinely love seeing what everyone's hyped for. Sometimes y'all remind me of stuff I totally overlook. And hey, if this video helped you discover a few new gems or just made your gaming backlog a little scarier, consider hitting that like button and subscribing. We've got plenty more gaming goodness coming your way, and who knows, maybe a few surprises too. Alright, time to go clear some space on the hard drive. Until next time, happy gaming and take care. Video Game Sparkles.